Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Long time no see. So I just had I wanted to make this video just really briefly regarding something. I don't want to turn my car on. I do want to see the time. Regarding this video that I watched this morning. So shout out to Pink Book Lessons. This lady be having me in there dying with her thought pockets. And like she be having me dying, but she made this video this morning regarding the banning of edges at one school in Jamaica. First, what I would like to say, I find it interesting how people are, find it interesting how people are defending it. Two, how people are like acting like all of Jamaica, everywhere, every school on top in the world is coming out to their edges. I find that absolutely, utterly interesting. And I found it interesting that she kept saying in the video that it was a form of grooming. And I want to be sure that we're making clear what she's talking about. Because when as a woman, y'all see this is my usual get up. Even when I'm going out and I'm about to go to a club, I'm still not out here with the shortest dress I can find. I'm not out here with all of my breast exposed. That even when I was younger, that wasn't me. Granted, thank goodness for me, I was taught to, if you don't have a body for certain things, don't wear certain things. I don't care if you fit it, they make it in your size, you don't wear it. So because I've always had an insecurity about my body and my shape, I would never want to wear things that was unflattering. So that meant I'm not wearing the tightest thing ever, because you're not about to, because that means it might be tight around my waist, and that means my waist might be starting to fold over my clothes, and that's not cute. So we just never went there, all right? But this had nothing to do with me. What I will say is I agree with the ban. I agree, because I feel like if these girls are supposed to be focusing on school and their education, why do they need additional time at school when they're supposed to be in class to do hair? I was always brought up to believe that when you have those sorts of things should be done before you leave out the house. And if you can't get everything you need to get done before you leave out the house, then you need to wake up earlier. If you got to be out the house by 8 and you know it take you an hour and a half to get ready, but you waking up at 7, that's your problem. That's your fault that you're not ready before you go to school. Because I was taught that being in school, if you was in school, you was there to learn. I wasn't there to socialize. I wasn't there to try to find pick up on nobody. I mean, like, obviously that's what y'all are there for, because it's elementary school and that's where a lot of y'all socialization come from. But I guess maybe that's me too. Like, I really didn't give a damn when I was in school. I'm like, I'm here to go to school. And then especially once I realized people was on bullshit, y'all just sitting here talking stuff about other people like I'm supposed to care, and I don't. Y'all not focusing on these lessons. Y'all not paying attention. It wasn't for me. So I was always, I would have been that girl y'all would have been calling a lame, all straight up and down. And do it look like I cared? Because I didn't care then, and I don't care now. Being lame, doing that type of stuff, being that sort of way as a woman keeps you out of a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. You're not but I'm in agreement with it, just because, like, I definitely don't think that it's appropriate. I look at some of these little girls nowadays when they got all them baby hair, they got their lashes on, they got this weave down to their butt, they got the nails, and I'm like, y'all look like y'all 15 going on 25. And you guys as young women don't realize why us as older women, like, first of all, we not hating on y'all. There's nothing to hate on. Trust and believe that. We not hating. This is auntie coming to try to teach you something that apparently your mama didn't learn or don't care to teach. Because that's something that we got it real bad in our communities, and a lot of people communities, especially ours, where we like to say things like, I don't want to raise my kids how I was raised. And a lot of things that we're getting rid of is the discipline and the respect. You don't want to raise your kids the way that you was raised, but you don't see how that caused you to be disciplined. You don't see how you being the raised that you was raised caused you to have some respect for yourself, respect for others. You don't see that. But you sit up here want to say that you don't want to raise your kids how you was raised. Because I noticed that's one of the main things that got dismantled in my generation when our parents were saying that mess about, I don't want to raise my kids like I was raised. Well, your mama was telling you to be a little bit more respectful, and you're not teaching us how to be respectful. And then what's funny about that statement is we don't want to raise our kids how we was raised, but y'all don't got no problem. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Sit your ass down before I beat you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get in that ass. I'm gonna whoop your ass. That stuff is okay. But you don't think that teaching your son to sit the fuck down, or your daughter to sit down, be quiet until it's their time to speak up when it's their time to speak. I don't know ain't a good answer. I'm gonna need you to think about that. It's like certain things, it's like we're not teaching the youth anymore, but we keep acting like they supposed to know. And that's where I'm getting at with this video. As a young girl, you have to start understanding how you're presenting yourself is how people are treating you. If you haven't figured that out now, do so soon. Because when I see certain girls with a lot of weaves and baby hairs and lashes and nails looking all crazy, I feel like they trouble. And I have had very few instances where those type of girls have come and been like that and have not been trouble. So you're getting typecast. And you don't even realize it yet because you just want to be able to do what you want to do. Okay? When these people out here are treating you like you about to be the loud, arrogant, unruly teenage girl, you can't then go and be all loud and unruly with them, like, and proving them right because the way you look. Because you want to be defensive and you want to be on the offense because somebody says something about your looks. People gonna keep saying that. So what you gonna do? You gonna keep getting mad? That don't make no sense. You're gonna be mad forever. Just letting you know, you're gonna be mad forever. And I hope that you learn that you don't have to be mad forever. But all this to say, y'all, like, I'm agree with it. Ban them damn edges. The comment section was all ban the baby hairs, ban all of it. I'm like, you know what? You ain't lying. And look, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to judge people because sometimes people have on lashes and it looks very tasteful. Very tasteful. I've seen people have baby hairs and it looks semi-tasteful. I'm just not a fan of the baby hairs because you're not a baby. And if you got, to me, like, I be telling my daughter, I'm like, if you got to do all this and some, I've seen women cut their edges off so they can put down the baby hairs. If you got to do all of that, it ain't meant for you. It ain't meant for you. It ain't meant for you. I tell my daughter, you got natural baby hairs, and once the natural baby hairs go, then you don't need no more baby hairs. And my family, I got some family members that do this, and they might not like what I'm saying right now, but I don't care. I don't like it. It's not for me. It's not for my child. And I'm not teaching her to do that. If it's for you and for your child and your loved ones, then so fine and so be it. Like I said, I don't want my cousins or my nieces or my sisters or somebody come around with no baby hairs. I'm not looking at them like, ew, how dare you have baby hairs. I'm understanding they trying to follow the trends. And this is why I tell my daughter, girl, these trends come and go. Don't be doing nothing that's trying to be trendy and you out here low-key harming yourself. Because I wonder how many of these girls in 10 years ain't going to have no edges. Because they done gelled them down so much. How many of their foreheads are breaking out because of all that product they putting on their forehead? Because, see, back in my day, we didn't want to do too much of that stuff because we would break out. I don't want pimples all over my fucking face. I'm already breaking out. I'm not about to encourage breaking out on my forehead because I'm putting all this product on my head. I used to didn't even want to wear too many bangs that touched my head too much or put too much product in my bangs because if I did, my forehead was breaking all the way out. It was not pleasant. So I said, no, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, so I'm against it. I think that's all I really want to say. I do want to touch on the grooming aspect because I want us to be clear on something that this is happening on both sides. We are grooming our men to want to date these younger girls because they're young and impressionable and we don't even realize it. And what y'all are doing is y'all are making sure that our girls feel like they need to stay looking and acting as young as possible. That's what you don't realize as some of y'all men's. And even some of y'all women's. Y'all don't understand. No, y'all don't understand, or it doesn't seem like we understand that these little children are not just picking up everything that we do, but they're picking up on our mannerisms, how we act, why we act the way that we act. They may not fully understand, but they're picking up on it. Okay? And us as women, we cannot keep teaching our little girls that, you just go out here wearing whatever you want to wear and thinking that if you out here with booty shorts on and your midriff all showing, your belly showing, and get all your titties out, then somebody ain't gonna think you walking the streets, that you selling something. We can't keep acting like that's not a thing, because we all know that it is. Because how many of us, like I said, I was born in the 80s, so I'm a millennial. I'm one of the early millennials. I feel like I'm one of them 80s millennials. So we were still raised in some of these ways where it's just like, nah, we just ain't doing that. And I did see a shift happening in the 90s, and I saw it further happening in 2000s. And now that we're in the 2020s, it's happening even more. It's like we're, and then, because this is what I'm really noticing. Because y'all Negroes got the loud to say that this is racism and that's racism and this is because of race and this is because of race. Now everything's about race. You can't wear baby hairs. Oh, this is a attack on my blackness and my culture and da 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 da. Baby hairs is not our fucking culture. I really wish that we would stop claiming all of these things as our culture, and it's not. Like, baby hairs ain't your culture. Being able to wear big old eyelashes ain't a part of the culture. Never was. That's something new. Having baby hairs was never a part of the culture. That's something new. And just because black women are dominating in doing that, that doesn't mean it's our culture. Y'all got to understand what the difference between culture and just trendy bullshit. That's not culture. Having edges is not culture. Like, this is part of a culture. The Rastafarian culture. But this is, if I decide to put my edges on or something, that's not a part of the fucking culture. So I'm not about to sit up here and get mad because, oh, baby hairs. Fucking, that's baby hairs. Baby hairs. Baby hairs? No. But yeah, like I said, I just want us to start being more aware of that. You ain't missing out. Look, girls, look, girl, come sit your ass down. Auntie talking again. We gotta get rid of this FOMO. If you're not out here dressed like all the rest of the little girls, you don't have no edges on, you ain't out here trying to be fast and look like your mama with the lashes on and with the weave and trying to make sure your nails look like hers, you not being like that, great, good for you. I'm so proud of you. I know you don't hear it enough, but I am very proud of you. It's nothing wrong with you. It never has been and never will be. Okay? It's nothing wrong with you because you don't want to be a part of every fucking little bullshit ass trend that they got on this planet. Good for you. You not falling for the okie doke. Good for you. Stay just like that, baby girl. Stay just like that. Why am I telling you to stay like that? Because what you're doing for yourself is showing yourself that I am going to be true to me, and who I am don't flow like the wind, because that's what a lot of this trend shit do. Some of y'all little girls gonna go 10, 20 years from now. Y'all gonna be looking at them old ass pictures when y'all got baby hairs all the way down to your eyebrows. All of this is talking about just baby hair. You gonna be looking at them pictures like, what the fuck was I thinking? What was I doing? This is terrible. You know what? I can't say many of those about the pictures I got. You know why? Because I believe in being timeless. What does that mean? I understand that the style is right now wearing them little poofy skirts with half your ass hanging out. That's a trend. First of all, I'm too old for it. Second of all, I don't want my ass hanging out because I don't want nobody approaching me like I'm selling ass. Okay? So no. And I understand that a lot of you girls are being taught that if a man is willing to pay, then okay. Stop. Please stop. Stop this. Let's stop the madness. Because again, this is why Pinkwood Lesson, girl from Pinkwood Lesson was talking about y'all being groomed and don't realize it. Because you're out here looking like a streetwalker, you're out here acting like a streetwalker, but then don't want to be called a streetwalker, but still willing to do streetwalker things. Being the way you act, being you always somewhere with your hand out, but then acting like you don't want to give up no sugar. Y'all giving up sugar. Don't be fucking playing with me. And then y'all be out here acting like, oh, like I remember way back in the day, it was a whole saying. Bitches get fucked and hoes get paid. So it was like people wore it as a badge of honor because somebody was willing to pay for their coochie. And then I want y'all to notice some of these girls that got that whole look, that whole aesthetic. Yeah, they might be on social media claiming, talking crap and bragging, seemingly to brag about the men that's paying for this or paying for that or doing this and that for them, right? Ask them where they rings at. Ask them where they rings at. Are they, and they got, you been married? Okay, why you ain't stay married? Was it some of this ridiculous ass behavior? Was it because your man was low key and you got a little too old? So we don't want to talk about that, huh? Never mind the fact that we got men trying to teach your little boys that like the older that a woman get, the less value she becomes. Like, y'all really need to get that shit together. Stop saying that. Because why do you think that some of these girls are going to be doing this shit to infantize themselves so that they can stay looking young, feeling young, and acting young so that somebody can be attracted to them? Now, everything is not always about men and sex and relationships and da-da-da-da-da, but I think we are being very dishonest with ourselves when we try to act like, as women, that we don't do stuff to get the attention of men, or that we don't do stuff because we want validation from other women. Like, I really believe that we do a very big disservice to ourselves when we act like that's not what's happening. So we got to start being honest about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And I think that I'm no one to judge. I will say that I'm not here trying to judge you. I don't really care if you want to rock your baby hairs, your lashes, you want to do all of that, your weaves, you knock yourself out. I'm not here to judge. Everybody wouldn't wear locks. Everybody wouldn't want to walk around looking like me. That's fine. Some people will tell me I look bogus, I look crazy. What are you doing? How come you need to lay your edge down? People will tell me all types of shit. But what I'm learning and what I have learned for the many years that I've been on this planet Earth is I can't care what everybody think. I can't care, because I'm always going to have to do what's best for me, whatever that looks like. Whatever that looks like, I'm going to have to do it. And if that means that accepting myself through everything, that's what it is. So how I would say this, because it's about hair. I was getting perms for many, many years. Many, many years. Back in, I think maybe 2012 or so. Maybe 2010, 2011. I decided I wanted to go natural. Did the big, first of all, I tried to do the big chop. I went to this girl that was in college school. My brother knew her. So I was like, okay, I trust you touching my hair, because sometimes you can't trust people touching your hair. And then when you tell them that you want to cut it all off, people act like you done lost your damn mind. So I was like, no, I want my hair cut. I want you to cut it off until there's no more relaxing. I don't want no relaxed ends, because what the hell am I doing? So for she to listen, she cut it off and left about this much relaxed hair. I kept that shit for about a week or two, because I was like, what am I supposed to do with it? Because this is up here curly and this little bit of piece of straight, it looks retarded. So I told my other friend, I was like, look, she did this. I told her I wanted it all cut off, but she didn't do it. So I need you to trim off the rest of this shit. Damn near bald. I literally, after I pulled my hair straight, I had this much hair. Never went back. And not only did I not go back, I was the first sister to transition into being natural. Now all three of my sisters are naturals. All of them have their children being natural. They do have other sisters that have locks, and I have a lot of cousins, like male cousins, that had locks. I'm the first sister, one of my sisters, to get locks. Another one went on ahead and got some. I'm like, my daughter got some. I locked my daughter hair up this year. My sister locked her hair up, I think, at the end of last year. I'm like, who next? Probably one of the nieces. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the nieces. But they about to... And why? Because I am choosing to be the example of, you don't, just because you wear certain types of hairstyles, that doesn't mean it has to look trashy. I don't get my hair retwisted all the time. But guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to walk around when I know I got to be at work, got to be at school, have to be presentable with my hair looking crazy. And do I need to have baby hair so that my hair don't look crazy? No. I'll put me a little gel on here, make sure it's all got the little swoop back. But because this shit natural, this shit don't like to lay down. And guess what? I'm not about to keep putting product after product after product on my hair so my shit can fall out. I'd rather just leave it be. And I think that that's the problem that we have in our society. We teaching our young girls and our young boys to be so materialistic. We teaching them to be very vain. because that started happening when we was in my generation. We started teaching people to be very, very vain. If you ain't driving this, if you ain't in this type, you ain't wearing this type of clothes, if you don't live in this type of neighborhood, if you ain't got this and you ain't got that, you broke, you poor, you this, you that. And do you notice what I'm saying? I'm saying this shit, and it's not white people that told me this. It was black people that said this. So we need to really clean house before we try to come outside all the goddamn time talking about racism. Before we come outside talking about you only doing this, you only saying this because I'm black. It's because I'm black. And my culture. How about we adapt the culture again where we have respect for one another? That if grandma told you, if auntie told you, if mama told you that you need to go put on some clothes, you did it. You didn't sit there trying to argue them down about why you should be able to wear what you want to wear and da-da-da-da-da and all this other bullshit that we like to allow our children to argue with us about. Because let's be real. That's a lot of things that changed too. Grandma told you something, mama told you something back in the day. That was it. You weren't about to sit there and go back and forth with them about why you shouldn't have to do it and da-da-da. You wasn't doing that, and if you did, now, I don't condone violence, but this is when them motherfuckers will pop y'all in the mouth. And our problem is we don't pop our children in the right, like y'all pop y'all children, but y'all don't be popping them for the right reason. To seem like you mad because they're trying to say something, but it's like you're not trying to make sure they understand certain things. And I think that back in the day there was a lot more understanding. There wasn't this popping motherfuckers in the mouth. No, you're not gonna outtalk me. We understood our roles, and I think that that's a lot of our problem too. There's no more roles, and we do not understand the role that we're in. As a mother, it's not my job to be your friend. As an auntie, it's not my job to be your fucking friend. I can be your confidant. It's not my job for you. Should you be able to trust me like I'm your friend? Yes. But I have to be able to tell you some shit that your friend's not. I have to be. Because first of all, that's my job. And your job as children is not to sit around here and on these internet streets and everywhere talking back to adults, telling them what you ain't gonna do and what you would rather do instead. No. Respect authority. Respect the fact that somebody, and that's another thing to bring this up, like the fact that the authorities had to step in and say, nah, to this not publicly funded education that these girls are having to pay to go to school just to sit out in a bathroom for 20, 30, 40 minutes at a time because they trying to fucking do baby hairs and edges and shit. And we got adults saying, oh, well, whatever, they're trying to attack our culture. You need to go sit your ass down. Go sit down. Because they not attacking our culture. Because like I told y'all earlier, that's not a part of my culture. I've seen too many beautiful women on this planet Earth that don't walking around with baby hairs, ain't walking around with lashes, don't walk around with a face full of makeup on, layered and clumped on. Still beautiful. Got husbands, got money, drive nice cars, live in nice houses. And they don't have to do all that. They don't have to do all that. So I got this one cousin. I brag about this girl all the time. I got this cousin, right? She had 2 children by 2 different dudes. And y'all like to talk shit about that. 2 children by 2 different dudes. That woman decided that just because that's what's her life and that's what she did, that's not who she was. Just because you do certain things, that doesn't mean that's who you are. Just because I had children and the dads didn't decide they didn't want to be there, that don't mean I got to be a shitty woman. That don't mean I don't have to have an education. That doesn't mean I don't have to figure out how to take care of my children. The lady went to nursing school. She went to nursing school, married a doctor, had 2 more babies by her doctor husband, living in that house is 4 floors because it's a full basement with high ceilings at that, 2 floors and an attic, 4 floors. Both of their children are in school. The children that this woman had before the marriage, both she had 2 girls. Only one of them, I wouldn't even say the girl is out here bad. She just ashamed, so don't nobody know how she doing. She healthy, she living, so she doing good. But she feel ashamed of herself, so she don't want to come around us. And I think that she needs to stop that because we don't care. We just want to see her. Because now if you ever see this, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. We want to see you, girl. No, we miss you. But yeah, that's really it. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I just feel like we need to get off of some of the bullshit. As black people, we need to stop trying to pull a race card. Like I said, like, everything that I've done with my life has been very intimately close to the system. So I know how these systems aren't designed to really be good for us. But I also understand that as much as it can be painful to say and as painful it can be to realize, it's not a whole lot that I can do. I can go vote, but that doesn't mean that every last thing that I want to happen is going to happen. That's not what it is. And I understand that fully. Right? Because I've been saying it for many, many years. As long as there's things happen in rooms that I'm not privy to, so much of my vote ain't gonna matter. I know that ain't gonna touch everybody the right way, and that's fine. But what I will say is, like I said, it ain't for me to judge, but I really want us to start realizing, like, some of this stuff, we gotta stop acting like it's just our culture, it's just who we are, trying to play the race card. Oh yeah, that's where I was going with this. Like, I've been in some of these systems. I know some of these systems ain't built for us. But that's what I'm saying, though. If we know the systems aren't built for us, why do we keep trying to play in the systems, but then act like we don't got to go by the rules? That's not how that works. The system obviously doesn't like you when you don't follow their rules. So, but not that really has anything to do with your edges. But it's really just to say, like I said earlier, when I see certain women dressed in certain types of ways and their appearance is a certain type of way, I look at them like trouble. And even to the point where, like, I tried to hang out with somebody that had all the edges and the weaves and just doing too much sometimes, and it never felt that comfortable. Like, those are not my people. Some of that stuff is just not my jam. So yeah, being loud and arrogant and ignorant is not my jam. So I can't even hang around those people in any sort of meaningful way, because I don't want to. What I got to learn from you? The only thing I can learn from you is an extreme amount. And sometimes I don't even know if it's confidence. I was going to say, y'all seem like y'all confident, but sometimes I think it's a lot of insecurities going around. Because like I said, the older that I get, the more I realize, if I cannot be okay with what I look like, who I am, when I wake up in the morning, when I'm by myself, or if I'm with people, who knows? Not people. That sounded weird. No, but like, even if I did have a man, if I couldn't figure out how to wake up every morning and still love myself, it doesn't matter what type of adornments I put on myself. And another thing I want to say, because I think this needs to be said as well, is that you young ladies need to start realizing, having on lashes, having these edges, having on the long crazy nails, having some of this stuff is not making you feminine. It's not what's making you feminine. And I think that that's something that has gotten so distorted over the last 30, 40 years, because I've been saying this since the early 2000s, because I noticed that a lot of women and some men, a lot of men too, would look at women, and if she had her hair done, so she had her nails done like this, and she had this and she had that, they made her feminine. And then these women would open up their mouths and all of that femininity would be out the door. So it's not just about, can you wear lashes? Are you willing to put on some fake lashes? Are you willing to put on some fake hair? Are you willing to put on some fake nails for you to be feminine? That's not femininity. That's false femininity. And we have to start being very, very clear on that. Not to say that you can't go get your nails done and actually be feminine. Not to say that you can't have lashes and it not be feminine. I'm not saying that. Notice what I'm saying. That's not what's making you feminine. It's a decoration. It's an adornment. And everybody don't need those adornments. Oh yeah, back to that cousin that married that doctor. Do you know I never really see that woman with makeup on? Never. If she wear makeup, she is so subtle. It's utterly ridiculous. I be wearing more makeup than her, and I don't even be wearing a whole lot. Never seen her with makeup on. Never seen her with like ridiculous, outrageous nails. Obviously, she's a nurse. She probably couldn't. It's unsanitary. But, it's just certain things that I feel like our young girls need to start realizing, and that's one of them. Some of this stuff ain't what's making you a feminine woman, and your mamas need to start teaching y'all that. It's about your attitude. It's about the way that you speak. It's about the way that you approach people. It's about the way that your presence. And some of y'all are not developing you guys' presence. And my message is, that don't just come when you get grown. That shit starts when you a teenager, when you young, 10, 11 years old, and you starting to feel yourself. That's when you really start to develop your character. And if you're trying to defend a trend, something that's not going to be here in a couple of years, it tells me that you might be a wishy-washy person. You gonna flow with the wind. You just trying to go with the wind. Wherever the wind go, you might go with it, because you're not standing on something like you think you are. Standing on trends ain't standing on nothing. Standing on logic, standing on wisdom, stands on something. Standing on your integrity, that means something. Because I promise to God, whether I had lashes on, whether I had anything on, if I couldn't say the message that I'm trying to say clearly, it wouldn't matter. And as a matter of fact, if I had on any of that, any message that I would be trying to say would be null and void, because ain't nobody fucking listening. And that's something, like I said, I want y'all to really take a step back. Not famous people that are married or trying to live in the life that you want to live, but the people that's in your neighborhoods, people around your area that's living the life that you want. Do they look like that? Because I'm gonna tell you, everybody that living the life that I want don't look like that. They look more like me than like that. If they got on makeup, it's very small, it's very subtle, it's just very complimentary. If they have on lashes, they're not thick ones, they're very small, they're spaced out enough so it doesn't look like very too clumpy. If they have on nails, my sister be having some outrageous nails, but her nails be cute. But that's about all she do. She does wear the magnetic lashes because her eyelashes are a little bit thin. So it's like, I understand that people have to do these things and have to wear these things just to make up. Like I said, like if my sister decides to put on, she wear her little fake lashes, and I'll be like, ooh, you need to take those out. Those are terrible. It's not up for me to decide that, because I ain't got to wear them. If you want to wear them, do what you got to do. I'm just against it. And I think I have the right to be against it. Fuck. Because I think that's the thing, right? You want to be able to say what you like and why you like it, and should nobody tell you nothing about it. But the moment somebody tell you about what they don't like and why, you want to get all upset and angry and defensive. So you can you want to dish it out, but you can't take it. We was always taught that wasn't okay back in the day. If you could dish it out, then you should be able to take it. And that's always, like I said, that maybe that's one of the casualties that got lost in our new way of raising children. We don't teach them, if you can dish it out, you can take it. If you think you about to be out here being mean to somebody, don't be surprised with somebody being mean to you right back. And you can't be sitting up here acting like they so wrong when you was doing the same thing. Because that's all that be happening on these internet streets in real life, is everybody want to throw stones, but you throwing stones and hiding your hand. You're throwing stones living in a glass house. That's why I say, like, I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm not here to say something's right or wrong. I'm not here for it. Because truly, I don't know. And truly, I can't keep saying that I don't care, because I do care. Because otherwise, if I didn't care, I wouldn't be saying nothing about it. So I care. But what I care about is not the same thing that other people care about, apparently. Because I'm like, I don't really care. If you want to wear that shit, then wear that shit. But understand, you're going to grow out of it. And once you grow out of it, I hope you wasn't one of these people that was out here trying to defend it to the hilts. Like, look, I'm going to end it on this. So I remember back in the day, I used to watch Tasha K. And before she got to be who she is today, she must have said something. She was like, when I was growing up, my mama, she didn't, all the colorful weaves. My mama told me you had to be really confident to walk out the house and that. So I say that it's cute. It's this and that and the third. And I'm like, okay. So when your daughter gets out here and she want to have some bright pink hair and jobs are like, you can't represent us, is it still going to be okay? Or let's have them be an entrepreneur. How they going to be an entrepreneur when y'all telling these little motherfuckers it's okay that they don't know how to read? How they going to be an entrepreneur when they so touchy and sensitive? As soon as you say something to them, they ready to snap off. Who had they keeping customers when they ain't got no customer service skills? They ain't got no people skills. And the only people they know how to deal with is rude and ignorant people. How successful is that business gonna be? Oh, but wait, we can't talk about that. Like I said, this is like, notice the arrow, because the arrow is what I always say. This world that we live in, our feelings, the people that we are, is like an onion. There's so many more layers. Until we start cutting it down to get to the center, we only just gonna be touching surface level bullshit. And I think I'm over it. I've been over it. And this is why I have a hard time communicating with people, because people start talking about certain shit. But I'm like, but what about this, that, and the third? And I get blanks. People be drawing the blank. They be having the dead ass on me. And I'm like, okay, well, it don't change the fact that some shit need to happen. And like I said, I'm for the banning of the edges. I wish they would do some of that shit in Chicago schools, the CPS schools. I wish they would outlaw a lot of this stuff that got our little girls out here looking grown. Like I said, we did a lot of stuff to try to make ourselves look grown, but we was always told to stay in the fucking child's place, so we knew that we couldn't do too much of that shit. And we didn't try to until we went to college. Like, at least me, I didn't try a lot of stuff until I went to college. Like, I tried to put on a little makeup and stuff when I was in high school, but I was like, I know ain't nobody else wearing makeup, so why am I? I just want to put it on and see how I look. I'll put this shit on and then wipe it right off and then be like, ooh, it's cute, but still keep it moving. But all of that to say, I know I went over a lot in this video. We're gonna be good, people. Like I said, like I just think that, yes, they should ban these baby hairs. Yes, they should ban a lot of this stuff. Because last time I checked, when you was in school, you was supposed to be focusing on school, not hair. That's why they went to uniforms back in the day, right? Because they said I don't want you to just be looking at your hair, how you gonna wear. We don't want the disparity from people talking stuff about people because of what they wearing. But now we just finding new ways to disparage each other. Good job. But we still want to blame racism and blame this and blame that. Not one picking up that we part of the damn problem. We've been the one doing some of this shit. We're teaching our kids to be materialistic. We're teaching them to be disrespectful. We're teaching them that. And then when they get older, they want to come out here and cry racism. Nah, fuck that. You doing it. We doing it to them. We need to step our shit up as parents, as adults, and stop getting mad at these babies because they only doing what they know and what they're allowed to fucking do. Allowed to get away with. And any woman that's sitting up here trying to act like, yeah, let these girls, some of y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Should be ashamed. Ashamed. Are they going to school to do their hair, or are they supposed to be in school to learn? Which one? And again, we wonder why I'm in some of these work environments and I'm with some of these younger people and some of these older people. They don't want to work. They don't want to do stuff. They always complaining about this, complaining about that. And I'm like, I wonder where we getting it from. And we got like, anywho, I could talk all day about this because, like I said, to me, the way my mind works, it all starts bleeding into each other because I see how this affected that and how that affected this and how this is leading that and 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 that. I be connecting dots, babe. So I'm sorry that these videos be long and they be seeming kind of like they jump all over the place. And to me, I'm talking about the same thing, but I'm just talking about it as a layered issue as opposed to just the surface. Ooh, somebody talking shit about edges. Nah, fuck that. What about all this other shit that needs to be discussed? Because this situation is a lot deeper than edges. A lot deeper. Okay?